Oh no, what did I just do? I lost over $1,000 making a silly sports card mistake, and it's a mistake that you need to avoid. My name is Geoff Wilson. By day, I invest in tech companies, and at night, I invest in sports cards. Join me on my journey to profit from the hobby we all love. Sports card investors, and welcome to another episode. An episode that, oh no, I'm a little bit ashamed because today I am going to tell you about a mistake that I made in the sports card world that cost me a lot of money. And it's a mistake that could easily cost you a lot of money as well, unless you know what to watch out for. And I'm going to be explaining that today. But although today is going to be a little bit of a sad episode because I have to talk about my mistake and my failures from the past, there is one thing that makes me happy, and that is my members only card break that is going to be taking place next Wednesday night. Just a reminder about that, I'm giving away some amazing cards to my members, including this box of Impeccable Football, first off the line, opening it live with the members of my membership program next Wednesday night and giving all of the cards away for free. If you want to be part of the live card break, sign up for my membership program right now. Go to sportscardinvestor.com and click the membership link. For less than $10 a month, you can be part of the live card breaks that I'm going to do in May. 2 of them in May. Okay, let's take this down to a little bit of a darker place here because I have to admit to you where I have erred and where I have gone wrong. I'm going to take you back in time. I'm going to take you back in time to a simpler time in the world, a happier time in the world, October of 2019, specifically October 20th of 2019. And what was happening then in the sports card world is that this product had just come out, Prism Draft Picks. It was the first product with Zion. And people were going crazy for these boxes, myself included. So I decided on my YouTube show that I would open 5 of these boxes just to show my viewers what was inside, and that I would calculate the ROI to determine if I could actually make money by buying 5 boxes and opening up the boxes and selling the cards online. If you saw this video on my YouTube channel, you remember this. In fact, I'll show you a quick clip now from October 20th of 2019. $38 each, according to eBay sales history. And then the Zion Silver, number 64, the Zion Silver is a $180 card. And then my best guess, that Zion out of 5 gold vinyl that I pulled, no comparable sales history on that card. My best guess is that is a $500 card. So those were the cards that I opened with my son, Reeves. And man, was I excited because I thought that I had hit some gold. And I had hit some gold. These boxes were selling for $250 each at the time. And it is normally so hard to get positive ROI when you open up a box and you pull out the cards and open up all the packs. Normally, what you get from the packs is worth less than the box itself, unless you happen to get some really big hits. But in this case, the basketball card market was so hot with this being Zion's first release ever that I actually, as of that moment in time, had a positive ROI. But I knew it was a short-term thing. I knew that if I held onto those cards for more than possibly even a few days, certainly a few weeks, that the value of the cards could go down. And in fact, I said as much in the video. Here's the clip. And these cards just hit the market. So it's very possible that some of those prices will start to fall. It's very possible that the market will cool off a little bit, and some of these prices that I just quoted you today will not actually be the prices that you could sell these cards for a week or 2 or 3 or 4 from now. So that's one thing to think about. So I knew better. I knew that I needed to sell those cards right away if I was going to get the value that I thought I had just pulled from those boxes I had just opened. But life got in the way. This was late October, and right after I shot the video, I went on a couple-day vacation. Then I had to go down to Tampa for a work trip. Then there was Halloween. Then I had another work meeting and trip that I had to go to. And before I knew it, 10 days had gone by. And guess what happened in those 10 days? The price of all of the cards that I opened from those boxes absolutely tanked. And all of my money that I had in all of those cards tanked along with it. And let me show you what I mean. This graph, this ugly, horrible looking graph on your screen, this is a graph of Zion Williamson's Prism Draft Picks 2019 silver card. The same exact card that I pulled out of one of those Prism Draft Pick boxes. This card, had I sold it the day I opened the box, it was actually worth $360 the first day they hit the market. The next day they were selling for $268. The next day they were selling for $243. The next day they were selling for $232. This was right when I filmed and released the video. But then just a couple of days later, they were selling for $113. And just a couple of days after that, they were selling for $63. And just a couple of days after that, they were selling for $49. All the way down to $46 a few weeks after those boxes released. Let me restate that. Had I sold those cards the day I opened the boxes, they were in the $200 range or possibly even more. But because I waited a week or a couple of weeks, I watched $200 turn into less than $50. Just like that. But this phenomenon is not limited to this product, and this phenomenon is not limited to this player. This phenomenon exists across the entire sports card industry every time a new release comes out. And I told you it's not just Zion, because look at Ja. This is Ja's graph, the same set of cards, the Prism Draft Picks, the Ja cards that were selling for $85 right when the set came out. Were selling for as little as $15 only a couple of weeks later, and as little as $11 a couple of weeks after that. And this type of effect is amplified with Prism Draft Picks because it is a college product. So any set that has players in their college jerseys, this is going to happen to an extreme degree. Sets that have players in their college jerseys, which are often the sets that come out first. Like, for example, Prism Draft Picks football just recently came out, and it's got players like Tua in their college jerseys. Those cards are only valuable until the sets come out with players in their pro jerseys, and then the college cards continue to go down and down. But even before the pro sets came out, these cards went down tremendously in the first week after the release, but it's not just basketball, and it's not just college cards, and it's not just Prism. It happens across the board. Let's look at Topps Baseball. Here's Topps Baseball, the 2020 Topps Baseball Series 1, which came out a few months ago. This is Yordan Alvarez from Topps Baseball, and you can see the same effect here. Now, this is just his base card, so this is a lower dollar card of Yordan Alvarez. But this card, the day that the set came out, was $7.51, $6.26, $5.81, and this same card could have been purchased a couple of weeks after that set released for as little as $2.11. So even though we're dealing with smaller numbers there, you can see that type of drop. And if we look at the parallels from Topps Series 1 2020 this year, you see the same thing. This is Yordan Alvarez's rainbow foil parallel, and these cards were as much as $69 right when the set came out and hit the market and people started opening the boxes for the first time. But then a couple of weeks later, it hit a low of $14.99. And this pattern continues everywhere. This pattern continues in football. Let's look at the Optic Hollow 2019 football card from Kyler Murray. And we're going to see the same type of pattern occur, where if you were the very first person to sell this Optic Football Hollow Raw of Kyler Murray, The very first day you could get it out of a box, you would have sold it for 80 bucks. But then a week later, you would have sold it for 39 bucks. Same card a week later. And you can see the trend line overall on your screen, this pattern that occurs where these cards, all of these cards, every single one that I'm showing you goes down and down and down. And it's true even for the landmark releases. So I talked about Prism draft picks, but what about regular Prism? Surely Prism basketball, which has been so hot this year, couldn't possibly fall into this pattern, could it? This is Zion's Prism basketball, regular Prism in his Pelicans jersey, his silver in raw. A card that was selling for $1,800. This is his raw silver card. Was selling for as much as $1,800 the day that Prism hit stores. Was selling not even a week later for $543. $1,800 to $543 a week later. What's the lesson? The lesson is that if you are opening up boxes of new cards that are new sets that just hit the market, and your intention is to sell some or all of those cards, sell immediately. Open it the day you get it and sell immediately. And if there's any delay in you getting it, you're going to be too late because you're going to miss this high of the market and it's going to quickly crush down. On the flip side, if you're buying cards that are newly released in a new set, do not buy the first week or two that set hits the market. Wait a couple of weeks, wait a few weeks, wait 3 to 4 weeks, wait a month, wait for the market to settle down because we see this pattern time and time again. And by the way, it's not just with raw cards. It also happens with graded cards because whenever a new set is open, people will start pulling the cards out and then they'll immediately ship them off for grading. And historically, Beckett, BGS, has been the group between BGS and PSA. Beckett has been the quickest to get them back to you. Not so true anymore. Now, actually, a lot of people are turning to SGC for that reason because SGC has a closer turn. But if you send your cards off the very first day you open a box for grading, and then you get those cards back, and you're one of the very first people to have a graded card of a particular card, sell right away because look at this chart of Zion's Prism Basketball 2019 Silver in BGS 9.5. Look at this chart. It's the same crazy chart. The first person that got this back from grading and sold it on eBay sold it for $2,500. 2 weeks later, this same card was going for $925 in the same grade. It went from $2,500 to $925 just because some people got it back a little bit later and put it online a little bit later. And of course, the lesson also works in reverse, that if you're looking to buy a graded card, do not buy the first graded card to hit the market from a new set, or you are going to pay a 2.5 times premium like the person who just bought the first graded card from Zion that ever hit the market paid. Expensive lessons to learn. And a lesson that unfortunately cost me a lot of money when I opened up 5 of those boxes and took my time selling the cards inside. So I hope a lot of you can take something away from this and become a smarter sports card investor and a smarter pack ripper or a smarter buyer of cards in the future as of a result. One cool thing, by the way, to note, all those graphs that I just showed you were from my Market Movers data tool. And what you may have noticed is that my Market Movers data tool is now starting to accumulate more data because we could actually go back in time there and look at the origin of Prism draft picks and the origin of Prism this year, which was now 6 or 7 months ago in terms of those data, that data on those charts I was just showing you. So Market Movers is continuing to build up its data history so that I can show you more and more interesting trends over time like that. If you're interested in my Market Movers data tool, or if you are interested in joining my members only card break next Wednesday, go to my website, sportscardinvestor.com, and click on the membership link in the main menu bar. Again, go to sportscardinvestor.com and click in the membership link in the main menu bar. Please also give my show a subscribe. If you have not subscribed yet, hit subscribe. And if you're watching on YouTube, also hit the little bell icon so that you can be notified when new episodes come out. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you back in a couple of days with my next episode. Take care.